Good morning, guys. Welcome back. All right, I wasn't going to do any more of these videos because, I did it yesterday, but I'm going to watch the day after. So this is everything that's happened the next day. So this protest was done yesterday. So I'm going to just catch up on it and see what the people are saying about it. I'm mostly on the Sky News department at the moment because I kind of agree with them a bit more than I generally do, which we know the world's screwed. If I'm agreeing with Sky News, we're stuffed. We're completely stuffed because I never agree with them. I always think they're an extreme, a bit more, just a bitch and complain. But I'm starting to get their point of view, which is really sad.
Jane,
Let's see what they say.
Let's just start off with your reaction on this Monday morning to those protests yesterday in Melbourne.
All right, we'll tell you what they've got to say.
They were very confronting indeed, Pete. We knew from the start, the moment that these protests were being organised, that there were some characters behind them that were unsavoury. Now, Australians have...
Of course, as I said, there was a lot of them.
Is the operative word there. And police, unfortunately, were put in harm's way yesterday.
Of course, that's their job, unfortunately.
Protesters got out of hand.
The days we can get robot cops, it'll be a good day for the police, trust me.
Behaviour was seen. I'm not at all surprised. Victoria, my home state and my hometown of Melbourne, seem to have turned into the protest capital of Australia.
I don't know we should be celebrating that. I was about to say yay, but I don't think that's a good thing to celebrate.
The pro-Palestinian protests, I think this has been somewhat of a backlash to those protests.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues, but for a lot of the protests, it was pretty good. It was just a few.
A very successful one at that, and we should be embracing.
Yeah, when you say it's a terrible shame that those protests took place, I mean, like you point out, when you have these pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel protests in Melbourne every weekend, coupled with mass immigration, housing unaffordability, is this sort of pushback inevitable?
Yes.
Well, there's frustration in Victoria, certainly, because economically we're so far behind the rest of the country. Our unemployment is higher.
Yes, we do. That's so true, guys. I mean, I've been researching it myself.
It's becoming more and more prevalent. Crime is increasing. There is frustration that is brewing on the streets. And unfortunately, I think some of that manifested yesterday in those anti-immigration protests and the pro-Palestinian.
I think Australia has a lot of work to do. One, we've got to get rid of these protests, these Israel and Palestinian ones.
I want to thank the police.
Actually, you know what? We'll talk about that. I said yesterday that, you can have protests and no problem with that, as long as it's peaceful and all that kind of stuff. And I said I don't have an issue with Palestine being that protest and all that. You got to do what you got to do. I'm starting to think maybe I'm probably wrong in that department. I don't know if I said exactly that. It would have been somewhere along those lines because I don't remember what I say yesterday. I don't remember what I say 10 minutes ago. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think we should be having those protests, those Palestine ones, because it's the same shit over and over and over again. All they're doing is protesting for the sake of protesting. The idea of protesting is to get your message across. They're just not doing it. They don't know how to do their protest whole thing, and this is part of the reason we had this issue yesterday, guys. They're wasting everyone's time. We can't do much about Palestine and Israel. It's their business, not ours. Now, if you're people who really have a passion about that, try to start a conversation with it. But it's not much we can do as Australians about that. I mean, it might be a bad take. I don't care. It's just how it is.
Right around Australia for doing their job so well yesterday to try
Sorry,
and keep
will you quit that cat?
Under control.
Folks will argue, and I'm sure that they're doing that already, folks will argue, why is this one so unacceptable, whereas the other one that happens every weekend, which shuts down cities, shuts down key bridges as well, is allowed to continue?
Well, all peaceful protests should be allowed to continue. The question is whether they are...
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. My freaking computer is being a bitch. Sorry, guys. I got a cat on my side and he's knocking everything over on my keyboard and it's causing it to do weird things. So yeah, having peaceful protests is fine. I just don't think they should be doing it every single weekend because it's so disruptive. And it's not much we can do about it. Like in the protesting or for the what's going on wherever the protest is about. So yeah, it's not much we can do.
Or whether it is to make mayhem. And I think that, yes...
Because the idea is we need to have protesting, guys. That's what democracy is. We can have protesting as long as it's peaceful. But when you start causing like burning the Australian flag, I don't. That's not peaceful to me. That's just some loser having a cry. No, that's how I say it.
Today, we could see from the organisers that they intended to cause trouble. That is a real concern. But I speak every day.
And that's also another issue. The organisers were a problem too, though.
To business owners, particularly those in the CBD, whose businesses have suffered because of the continual protests up and down, particularly around the top end of Bourke Street in front of Parliament House. There are a series of restaurants in particular and retail outlets there that are being damaged each week, that are being vandalised, whose customers are walking away because they don't want protests outside where they're supposed to be having a nice
should they all be stopped?
Or shopping. That's outrageous.
Yeah, that's the question.
There needs to be something done. And look, the Victorian Coalition have already made moves to do that. They think that there should be permits to protest. I think that's a terrific idea.
Yep.
And something that should be considered because it's got to the stage now where Victoria...
Yeah, so you should be able to get a permit for the protest, guys. I mean, there's an argument for not doing this, just protest whatever you want. Can't do that, guys. You just can't do that in our cities, especially a capital city like Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, all those cities. You need to have some sort of like process to say, okay, you got a permit to do this from here at this time of day for this many hours. That's what you need. I think that'll be a good idea because it'll be something they can make a little bit of money out of. Secondly, they'll be able to control them a bit better, and the police won't be like always in the having a lot of issues because the police will be more aware of it. Assuming the government tells them. All right, so we've got that sorted out. Was something else I want to talk about? I think I can't remember. Apparently, Trump's fine now, guys. He's back to himself. I call bullshit on that. All right, let's watch this one because this one was only done 15 minutes ago. Before we continue, I want to make sure. Sorry, guys, that's just delaying it. Yeah. Got to put this on my clips. I want to have this as a clip, guys, but I've got to keep the euro out so I don't freaking lose it. I keep lose. What happens is when I do the edits and I put the description in, I forget I have to have the links and shit and for references. And yeah, that's a problem. So I'll do this one, have a little bit of talk and finish up. It's not going to be as long as yesterday's because yesterday was a full-on thing. But it's Australian, guys. I wasn't really a big Patreon person. I think I've grown into it more than anything else. But anyway, let's go.
Discuss this and more with the Liberal Senator, the Victorian Liberal Senator Jane Hume. Jane, good to see you this morning. Let's just start off.
It's the same one.
Monday morning to those protests yesterday. 2% renewable.
That we need in order to form government. And those 33 electorates have said that they want a net zero emissions future.
Okay, I think that's the same. Well, okay, that was the same one. It's just basically the same thing as I did yesterday. Okay, so not much there. Let's see if let's see if we can do this. Melbourne. Everyone knows where I live, guys. Everyone knows I live in Melbourne, so I don't have to worry about that. 10 news clashes between the police and yeah, when was that? Yesterday. Anything recent? Is there a filter? I want to see a filter. I want a recent one today. Today is probably a good one. Okay, a lot of them look like they're 20 hours. Okay, so that's all the normal police stuff. I want to see what other people think. Like normal people, not news out. I don't know if there's anyone else here. Ours is. Yeah, we are really in a sorry state. I'm going to be honest. We're in a sorry state at the moment, guys. This country is doing shit, and this city is this whole state's doing bad. Cat, will you quit being annoying? Sorry, guys. The cat's jumping all over, huh? So this is some of the issues we have here, guys. All right, let's go into here.
Footage is emerging this morning from the ugly and racially charged scenes that played out at anti-immigration rallies.
Not all of them were like that. It was just some.
In Melbourne, demonstrators, including suspected neo-Nazis, stormed Camp Sovereignty, a First Nations gathering site in the Botanic Gardens.
Scuffles also broke out in Melbourne CBD.
Oh, where's my
and
mouse?
Adelaide,
My
where
mouse is
one
gone. I
demonstrator
hate when it
held
does
up
that. Because I can't do much, guys, because the cat's in here and he's playing with the cables. Every cable I have, every time I do something, he's here. I jump on it. But yeah, I don't look. We've gone to protesting, guys. It's no problem protesting. As long as it's peaceful. If you have these neo-Nazi losers here, you get rid of them. Kick them out. I don't care what you do to them. As I said in the last video, if you want to get rid of them, send them to China or friggin' North Korea or so, or even Russia. Russia could use them. Don't need all the manpower they can get. Because they'll just lose. We already know that. Either way, yeah, you got to get rid of these people. I'm so sick of it. And you, quit! Sorry, guys, the cat's really starting to get on my nerves.
killer Desi Freeman.
Aboriginal leaders have condemned this attack as a brazen display of racist and
Oh, yeah, this is definitely racist. This is definitely not racist department, and I am not a racist, guys. I believe Australia needs to have immigration cut down a bit. Now, I don't think we should stop it completely. I think we just need to cut it down, work out getting the businesses, the companies, and all the construction stuff. We get houses to catch up to the demand. Once we do that, we can start increasing it bit by bit and hopefully get the construction companies to do their job. And then we can start getting things organised. And then that'll be good for the country. Not just for our state, but the rest of every other state. We've got so much land, even though the majority of it's a desert. We've got lots of land. Victoria, for example, is mostly green. That's for the most part. The very north tip, I think, is a little bit of a desert, but other than that, New South Wales is the same, very similar. Queensland's another one. Places like South Australia, not so much because it's mostly on the coast. Further north you go in South Australia, it becomes a desert. Northern Territory has the same problem, but the opposite direction. The north is the greenery. Further south, it becomes a desert. And Western Australia is pretty much a desert for the most part. It's just the very western, like I think the western tip, the southwest, and the coast. But I really think we could do something with that because we've got so much land. I mean, put some money into it. We can probably do some terraforming and, you know, do some more good for the planet. But not just for us, but the whole, you know, planet itself. Every other country can do the same thing for theirs if they just put some money into it. But that's my opinion.
fascist ideology. And they say that supporters of neo-Nazi leader Thomas Sewell, who had made a speech at the anti-immigration rally earlier in the CBD, this splinter group of men dressed in black.
Yeah, I heard about this guy. So once he started talking, everyone basically just got up and left. No one wanted to hear this. No one cares what you say, you loser.
Then stormed the Camp Sovereignty site, which is in the Botanic.
Oh my God, these guys look like friggin' Men in Black, but white. I don't know why it looks like fucking. They look like losers out of a going to a what do you call it, cosplay or something. I mean, I've got no problem with going cosplays. That's not my thing, but they look like losers. They look like Men in Black cosplay. That's what it looks like. It looks embarrassing for themselves, especially because they look like losers.
Gardens just south of the CBD. And they then, according to the footage that we've been able to see, they appear to spit and stomp on an Aboriginal flag. They also were trying to pull down the letters of Camp Sovereignty without success. One of those men also appears to attack one of the people at the camp with a flagpole as well.
Talk about cowardly. You can't even fight, you embarrassments.
As many other clashes.
Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to me, I do actually have martial arts training. So if you're interested in where I used to go in order, I'll actually give you the So the place I used to go to when I did martial arts was called give me a second. I gotta remember, what was it? GKR. I might show it after the end of these videos.
They can be heard chanting white power, and witnesses say that 4 people.
All right, as soon as you say white power, you lose me. You're just a racist piece of shit. That's it. You're racist. You're racist. I don't like racism. I just can't stand it. I feel like it's disgusting because you like to think you're better than everyone else. I mean, I'm white, as you can see. I'm white as pretty white. I don't got no problem. I don't care if you're black, Asian, or whatever country you come from. I don't care. It's not about the color of your skin. It's about you yourself, who you are, not what color you are. I think, like I said, I don't care if you're African or Russian or even Palestinian. It makes no difference to me.
People were hurt. 2 required hospitalisation for head injuries. Now, this all came after we saw those really ugly scenes in the CBD.
I'd like to know where the police were. I mean, I know the police were pushed to the limit. They should have recorded everyone from the suburbs and made them go to the city. I mean, I think they need a bit more management. This is why we need to have like permits for these type of rallies, so the police can say, okay, we know about this, and this, where it's going to go, and roughly all the spots it's going. But yeah, I think having a permit would be good. Now the cat is starting to settle down, so he's just sleeping next to me, guys.
As thousands clashed, and we saw groups opposing the anti-immigration rallies also try to fight those clusters of people. Now, police say that there were 6 arrests during that
she must be
time,
at work.
and they say that 2 of their officers were actually hit in the head with bottles that were being hurled in the crowd. We've heard that police are going to look at CCTV footage to try to identify any further offenders.
This is disgusting. I mean, this whole thing should have been a peaceful protest. For the most part, it was. It's just these little groups of people. It's just disgusting.
But police say that there is absolutely no place for this sort of violent and disruptive behaviour in Victoria.
I mean, it's different. Protesting is one thing, but yeah, these Nazis are just trash. I don't think that's really it. That's all I really want to talk about. I'm going to subscribe to this channel, by the way, before I leave. Oh, actually, probably doesn't really matter. I don't know what channel I'm watching this on. Yeah, this is my Let's Play channel. I don't care because I'm going to delete it soon, so... But yeah, you get the idea, guys. I checked if there's anything else. I did have one thing, but I think it's under... I got to check. Alright, I got to go to my other account. So, unfortunately, my name's there, but I don't give a shit too much. My names will be hard to deal with because there's a lot of people with my name in my area. It's really weird. When I went to primary school, I had like 3 people with the same name. It was so weird. Yeah, we can go here. We can go to history. So yeah, I kind of doxed myself a little bit. But my address is harder to get because I'm more careful what I do. So, like for example, I don't have it out. I want to get like a PO box so I can use that instead. Okay, is this one? That's the one we just done. Oh, wait, that would have been the one. Oh, I've already done that one. God damn it. Never mind. I did all that for nothing. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. I don't know what you're doing running in the background. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So there was some disruptions. There were some bad people, bad actors in the whole thing, but it is what it is. I believe it went pretty well, though, for the most part. It was just a few, well, bad actors, I guess you'll call them. I'm hoping it'll make some move forward. I don't think much is going to happen regardless. We're talking about a government here, and our Labor government is a left wing, and they're really left, to be honest. So it's starting to get a bit annoying because I don't like it when you're extremely on one side or extremely on the other. You got to be more in the center. There's like a little center area. We can be a little bit left, a little bit right, but not a lot. On that note, I think someone's here, so I'm going to finish this video. Cheers, guys.